Get ready for the action, because we are diving straight into the tennis world with Coco Gauff calling out the tennis pay gap, despite the massive Grand Slam billions. The world no-4 player is using her platform to demand change, highlighting the huge disparities in benefits between top players and the average professional tennis player. She is pushing for a better future for the sport, and we break down exactly what this means for the players right now.
Here's a simple way to protect your phone without stress. This ALEN 3-pack comes with tempered glass screen protectors, camera lens protectors, and an installation frame for an easier, cleaner fit. It's clear, case-friendly, and built to help guard against scratches and everyday bumps. Check the link in the comments to get it on Amazon.
Next up, we hear from tennis superstar Aryna Sabalenka as she raises the stakes on the French Open boycott threat in a major fight for more prize money. Sabalenka is making it clear that the current situation feels unfair, stating that without players demanding more, the tournament lacks the necessary entertainment. Find out the details on the prize money increases and what this means for the entire tour. We switch gears now to the on-court action as Coco Gauff makes a triumphant return at the Internazionale BNL d'Italia. She battled through a tough match against Czech teenager Tereza Valentova, securing a crucial victory to advance to the third round. We look at the incredible stats behind this win and how Gauff is building momentum heading into the big season. Finally, we look at the momentum building for the world no-4 as Coco Gauff cruises into the Italian Open third round. She defeated Tereza Valentova in straight sets, showing incredible resilience despite some serving inconsistencies. Don't miss the full breakdown of this match and what it signals for her path to defending her title. Stay tuned for more. Coco Gauff has publicly called out the significant pay gap within professional tennis, citing the disparity in earnings between top-ranked players and the average professional. This comes amidst broader discussions regarding player action to address revenue distribution across the sport. Following a call from world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka, urging Grand Slam tournaments to consider a boycott over insufficient prize money, Gauff has supported the push for collective action aimed at reducing these financial disparities. Speaking at the Italian Open, Gauff expressed concern over the financial situation of players ranked in the top 200, stating, "When you see how much money the Grand Slams earn, it's sad to see that players in the top 200 are still living hand to mouth. I want to leave this sport in a better state than I found it." She emphasized that the issue is not personal, but concerns the future of the sport and ensuring players receive fairer benefits. While the Grand Slams are expected to set a standard for reducing the pay gap, the current reality is described as unfavorable. Data reveals disparities, noting that joint ATP and WTA Tour events distribute only 22% of their revenue to players, contrasting sharply with team sports like the NFL, NBA, and MLB, where players receive approximately 50% of league revenues. Iga Swiatek, the world number 3 and 6-time Grand Slam champion, also acknowledged the possibility of a boycott, noting that communication exists between players when important topics arise. Regarding the Grand Slam structure, the French Open prize pool has seen an increase, rising 9.5% to €61.7 million, projected to account for 15% of the event's revenue. The payout structure at the French Open features substantial differences, with singles champions receiving €2.8 million and first-round losers earning as little as €87,000. For Coco Gauff, navigating the path to the Grand Slam season requires immediate focus. Having suffered an early exit in the Madrid Open, Gauff needs a strong performance at the Italian Open to maintain her top 4 seeding ahead of Roland Garros. With 650 WTA ranking points at stake, a deep run in Rome is crucial. If she secures a top 4 position, it would also improve her prospects for defending her title by potentially facing a top 4 seed in the semifinals. Noi dung kai tight. Tennis stars are signaling potential boycotts as they push for a larger share of prize money at the French Open, highlighting growing dissatisfaction with current payouts relative to tournament revenue. Women's world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka voiced her frustration, stating, "I feel like without us there wouldn't be a tournament, and there wouldn't be that entertainment. demanding a higher percentage of the proceeds. And the French Open has announced a 9.53% increase in the 2026 purse, setting the total prize money at €61.273 million, up from €56.352 million in 2025. While champions will receive €2.8 million, a 10% rise, the overall structure remains a point of contention. And a group of top players, including Carlos Alcaraz, Coco Gauff, Jannik Sinner, and Aryna Sabalenka, signed an open letter to the French Tennis Federation, FFT, expressing collective disappointment. They pointed out that despite Roland Garros generating €395 million in revenue in 2025, prize money increased by only 5.4%, reducing the players' share to 14.3%. They argued this falls far short of the 22% requested by players to align Grand Slam earnings with ATP and WTA Tour standards. And Coco Gauff emphasized the need for unified action, drawing parallels to the WNBA's collective bargaining efforts. She stated, "If everyone were to move as one and collaborate, I can 100% see that. It's not about me. It's about the future of our sport and the current players who aren't getting as much benefits as even some of the top players are getting, when it comes to sponsorship and things like that. We're making money off court." And in response to these demands, the FFT detailed specific increases in qualifying prize money for 2026, with first-round qualifiers receiving €24,000 and further increases for subsequent rounds. Doubles prize money saw a 3.9% rise. And the call for collective action escalated, with Gauff suggesting that a boycott is a possibility if players decide to discuss and agree on the best course of action. This push for greater financial equity comes as other major tournaments offer varied prize pools, with the Australian Open increasing its payout to $111.5 million for 2026, while Wimbledon has yet to confirm its 2026 figures. Coco Gauff made a triumphant return to the Internazionale BNL d'Italia, securing a decisive 6-3, 6-4 victory over Czech teenager Tereza Valentova. In a hard-fought contest, Gauff broke Valentova's serve 6 times to claim the win, marking her 18th career match victory at the tournament. The victory represents a significant return for the defending finalist. Valentova put up a tough fight, but Gauff demonstrated superior performance, particularly on return. Gauff noted that Valentova had definitely stepped up her level in the rematch, especially on return, attributing some of Gauff's missed serves to Valentova's pressure. Statistically, Gauff was highly efficient, saving 6 of the 10 break points she faced and winning nearly 20 more total points, 75-58. While Valentova hit 2 more winners, Gauff managed to outscore her significantly. This win is also a notable moment for Gauff against younger opponents, as she is now 15-4 against players younger than herself, having lost only 2 matches to such players since defeating Valentova in Paris last year. Gauff stormed out of the opening set, taking the first 4 games, though she battled back through marathon service games in the second set. The result solidifies Gauff's strong momentum heading into the remainder of the Rome tournament. World number 4 Coco Gauff has successfully advanced to the 3rd round of the Italian Open in Rome after a hard-fought victory over Czech teenager Tereza Valentova. In a decisive second-round match on Thursday, Gauff defeated Valentova with a score of 6-3, 6-4. The American displayed a strong recovery following illness issues experienced during the Madrid Open, demonstrating notable composure on the clay courts despite some inconsistencies in her serving. Gauff required 1 hour and 34 minutes to secure the win. She immediately applied pressure on the opening set, capitalizing on her powerful baseline play and sharp movement to secure consecutive breaks early on. However, the second set proved more challenging. Valentova managed to increase the competition, capitalizing on Gauff's service struggles, as the American committed 7 double faults and landed just 62% of her first serves. Valentova successfully drew level twice, forcing Gauff to rely heavily on her experience and steadiness. Crucially, Gauff raised her intensity late in the set, breaking Valentova's serve in the ninth game with a dominant return, before closing out the victory in straight sets. This win propels Gauff into the third round of the prestigious WTA 1000 event, where she will face either Solana Sierra or Angelina Kalinina in her ongoing pursuit of a strong clay court campaign.